Why being too generous can be dangerous. Stoic wisdom for self-protection. We are told that we should be generous and put other people first, but does anyone warn us that being too generous and giving can actually be harmful? We live in a world where we don't always receive what we give, because it's full of generous souls who watch their giving. Deplete them both financially and emotionally. Could being too generous even endanger our own well-being? Be surprised by the negative consequences that can follow your generosity today. I'll tell you 8 harmful things that can happen to you if you're too generous, and I'll show you 4 powerful strategies to prevent people from exploiting you. Let's move on to number 1. Without further delay, you will develop unrealistic expectations of others. The Stoics taught that we should accept reality as it is and not depend on what other people do to find our happiness. Giving without expecting too much in return protects you from disappointment and helps you practice emotional detachment, which brings you a calmer mind whether we realize it or not. It's difficult for us to be completely selfless. When we give everything we have, we naturally expect everyone else to do the same when we need something important. However, you've conditioned people so thoroughly to receive everything from you that they'll take it for granted that you can manage everything in their lives and yours, especially your own. Because if you don't take care of your own responsibilities, why would you take care of other people's in reality? Your hopes of reciprocity won't be fulfilled, and you'll end up with frustration, exhaustion, anger, and sadness. Still, if we examine it objectively, people aren't actually disappointing you. They're simply doing what you should be doing, which is managing their own responsibilities. People will simply expect you to continue giving them everything. Which brings us to the second point. The Stoics emphasize that true value comes from acting in a way that is virtuous and rational, not from simply fulfilling what other people want. Moderation and balanced giving help you maintain control of your actions and prevent you from developing patterns that damage your mental health. You've heard throughout your life that people are creatures of habit, and this couldn't be more accurate. People are designed to adapt to patterns, routines, and a rhythm of circumstances around them. The concept of the comfort zone stems from this tendency to adapt. This means that if you're constantly giving, the people you help will expect you to give them something all the time. You'll guide them into their comfort zones, and they won't need to handle many of their responsibilities because you'll be there to manage them. If you don't value yourself, nobody is likely to look you in the eyes and tell you to prioritize yourself more. At least don't expect this kind of consideration from the people you help, because they would cling to their personal helper, which would cost them significantly in their lives. Third, your own goals will be disregarded. The Stoics taught that it's essential to live according to reason and virtue, to establish boundaries, and to prioritize our own responsibilities if we want to maintain balance and not sacrifice our identity and well-being for other people. If you place everyone else's needs before your own, you may end up running away from something within you that causes pain and fear. How do you feel when you spend the weekend alone or arrive home every day knowing nobody is there to welcome you? If you're engaging in so many different activities because you want to escape from yourself, the impact will be doubly devastating. Because on one hand, you'll have to confront yourself sooner or later, and on the other, your negative emotions will intensify as you continue to place other people's needs before your own. Self-care is one of the most fundamental aspects of wellness. Before you can help others feel better, you need to ensure you're content, fulfilled, and well cared for. That is, you should never offer someone a gift unless you first genuinely enjoyed something similar yourself. Similarly, you shouldn't volunteer to organize a friend's event until you've taken care of your own responsibilities and enjoyed a relaxing evening. The rest of the world comes after you. 4 people will perceive you as weak and treat you accordingly. Stoicism instructs us to develop strength and self-control by establishing Boundaries and practicing self-discipline. We can demonstrate to others that we are dedicated to our own responsibilities and principles, earning their respect instead of being perceived as vulnerable if you assist other people excessively. Over time, you might become recognized as someone dependable in your field of expertise. However, with other people, you might be creating the exact opposite impression. When you don't establish boundaries, people begin to view you as weak, similar to the person who accommodates a demanding superior so consistently that people will approach you to transfer their responsibilities because they know you won't refuse. On the contrary, as soon as you employ this powerful word, they will begin to experience something toward you they never imagined they would respect. You'll accumulate many superficial connections or people who only approach you when they need something. Stoicism teaches us the importance of being discerning and wise by choosing whom to help with. Self-control and perspective. We can distinguish between genuine people and those who want to exploit us, so we don't waste our time or energy on matters that don't serve us. People who believed you were a good friend suddenly only want to interact with you when they need something. If you consider it logically, it's not so improbable that this could happen to you. Since most people don't invite their service providers or helpers to socialize with them, let alone share personal time, what's happening with you is understandable, but that doesn't mean it's fair. Therefore, you need to learn how to implement the strategies I'll explain at the end to prevent people from exploiting you. Sixth, you'll only attract people who want to receive and never those who want to contribute. With patient discernment, we can build relationships that are authentic and mutually beneficial. People enter our lives because their energies align with ours. That is, if we operate at a low frequency, we attract people who are negative, pessimistic, possessed, troubled spirits, and want to harm us when our vibrations are elevated. On the other hand, we draw people who are filled with positive energy, kindness, enthusiasm, dedication, and happiness. Because of this, when we give to everyone, we lose so much energy that we begin operating at a low frequency. This attracts dependent people to us, as well as opportunists who don't even want to reciprocate and only want to extract what they can from us and disappear without even expressing gratitude. 7. You could develop harmful dependencies. The Stoics taught people to maintain composure and self-governance. Self-discipline in giving prevents us from developing harmful patterns and allows us to maintain a healthy relationship with our actions and choices. When scarcity becomes a regular part of our lives, the craving for something intensifies, which is the primary path to addiction. So one day, someone close to you might observe that you consume too much, and not just beverages. They might also notice that you overeat or even engage in excessive risky behaviors. Pay careful attention to what someone who genuinely cares about you expresses, because your initial reaction may be to become defensive and insist you don't have any issues. But this is how people typically respond when they are so immersed in their own struggles that they can't recognize that they have a problem. Always remember that people who care about you desire what's best for you. So pay careful attention to what they communicate, because they're attempting to help you stop declining and progress forward. Number 8, you'll cause people to become suspicious. Stoicism instructs us to perform good actions, regardless of what other people think of us, by focusing on living aligned with our values and principles. We build a solid reputation that can withstand false accusations, no matter how much we'd prefer things to be different. The reality is that there aren't that many genuinely generous people in the world. So, if you are one, people will be suspicious of you. Instead of being grateful and appreciative, it won't take long before your generosity causes people to question what's happening with you and what hidden agendas you possess that you don't reveal to anyone. This could indicate you've encountered a group of particularly distrustful individuals, but it's more probable that they're simply being realistic. Most people who want to help excessively are concealing such problematic intentions that it's wisest to maintain distance from them and decline the assistance they offer. Now let's examine what you can do to prevent people from exploiting you. Strategy number 1. Pay attention to your emotions because they're communicating something important based on the Stoic principle of self-awareness. Monitor your emotional state. The Stoics believed it was crucial to engage in self-reflection, to understand your feelings and desires by paying attention to your emotions. You can determine if you're giving too much and exhausting yourself mentally. This enables you to adjust your approach and discover a healthy balance. How does it make you feel to assist other people? Reflecting on yourself and prioritizing yourself is such a beneficial practice that you should feel like you're experiencing lightness when you do it. So if you feel overwhelmed, exhausted, resentful, or exploited, it's time to listen to your emotions. If something you're not obligated to do makes you feel so negative, you shouldn't deceive yourself about it. Instead, examine how the assistance you're providing affects your wellness. Strategy number 2. Don't fear the word no. Following the teachings of the Stoics, you should recognize that your time and energy are valuable and need to be utilized in a balanced manner. Self-control can be demonstrated by being capable of saying no when you feel overwhelmed or when the request is unreasonable. Even though the word no evokes negative associations and discomfort, it's natural for us to find it challenging to express it. But if we don't learn to articulate this word, when someone demands more from us than we can provide, negativity will dominate our lives. Practice before the mirror and remind yourself that it's the only method to reclaim your freedom and avoid unnecessary and potential risks. Strategy 3. You have time and space for yourself. Honor them. Following the Stoic values of self-discipline and self-respect, it's essential to allocate yourself time and space to practice self-care. Engage in what you enjoy, such as exercise, creating art, listening to music while having a warm beverage, or anything else that energizes you. Complete your obligations as efficiently as you can so you can experience this. You should regard this extremely seriously, so seriously that you should schedule this time daily or weekly. Therefore, if someone requests your help during that time, they need to be exceptionally considerate and accommodating to you, not to the requester. So without guilt, you inform them no, and appreciate the time and space exclusively for yourself. If you don't want to be so direct, you can offer to help at a different time, but make it explicit that you will only be able to assist briefly because you have other commitments. Strategy number 4. Identify energy vampires and create distance from them, following the Stoic principles of self-discipline and wisdom. It's crucial to recognize which relationships are beneficial for you and which can deplete you mentally by creating distance from people who constantly drain your energy and don't contribute anything positive. You're protecting your own wellness and demonstrating Stoic self-control in your relationships. You should understand that if you attempt to help an energy vampire, it won't succeed. These individuals overwhelm you with their complaints, their suffering, and their catastrophic perspective of existence. Don't waste effort trying to help them, because if their problems were resolved, they would need to stop complaining, and that's something they wouldn't tolerate. In conclusion, according to Stoic wisdom in life, the optimal measure for matters is always the middle path, and generosity is no exception. If we give too sparingly, we appear selfish and stingy, while if we give excessively, we end up completely depleted of energy, time, and probably financial resources as well. So lean toward the balanced approach, which remains the best choice for discovering equilibrium between prioritizing other people's needs and prioritizing your own needs. And if you're ever uncertain, just remember the powerful word no, especially if they offer to assist you from a position of convenience. We've reached the conclusion of this journey, and I sincerely hope these insights will be tremendously useful to you. Don't forget that you are an essential part of this community. So if this video has benefited you, provoked thought, or you've gained knowledge, give it a thumbs up so that more people can discover the powers of Stoic wisdom And if you haven't already, don't forget to explore our ebook about Stoicism and how to apply it in your own life. Subscribe for a daily dose of Stoic wisdom and personal growth.